was more true to the old banana.
What's the goddamn year?
52.
1952. I don't remember what anybody else said at this point. It's been since 1952 since I said the question.
Hot eats, cool treats, we treat you right.
Welcome to the iKnowBadeaux podcast.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the iKnowBadeaux podcast. Coming at you from the local 218 studios. I am Mayor Dave Badeaux of the city of Brainerd. I'm here with my brother.
I ate absolute shit.
Too close. You can't speak. You have to be silent, and then we anyways.
You have to be silent.
You
must be silent. You must be silent.
Anyways, I don't even remember what we're doing with you. Hey, look at that. It's Gabriel Johnson.
Hey, Dave, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you for joining us as well. We got a guest this week.
No.
Look at that.
We do. Joining us, ladies and gentlemen, for the podcast this week is the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the booming, wonderful voice, B93.3, Cool 101 or 103.5.
Used to be 101 now.
Used to be 101. Now it's 103.5. Anyways,
Don't tell me my business, devil woman.
Moving on up.
ladies and gentlemen, it is Mr. Bill Satre.
Thank you very much. And
Bill, we got a thing on the podcast where we say you got 30 seconds to explain yourself. Go.
you know, I really wanted to do this mostly because there's stuff that I can't do on the radio that you could do on podcasts. That's the big thing. Podcasts give you the freedom to do stuff that they won't let you do because of FCC rules. Now, I don't know how far you're going to let me go with that, but I came here for the crackers and the you didn't even bring enough Rockstar to go around.
Bill, 37% of our content is just talking about gentlemen's testicles, so I think we're going to be okay.
I've watched the show.
And it's accurate. Okay, let's get started here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play a game. This week's game is called Chrono Trippin. Dairy Queen edition.
Okay.
All right. So this game that we have here is a little game that we play on the podcast where we take a corporate identity and we go through their history. And what we try to do is decide when certain things within their history happened, i.e. items, events.
We get to decide.
And you get to decide when something did. Now, the beauty of this is that I just go and find this information typically from their website, try to cross-reference as much things as possible. So everything could be wrong and everything could be bullshit. However,
we call that headlines or hogwash on the radio.
that's right. The beauty of this is that
You don't want a fish sandwich?
every item that starts, the next one will be chronologically after that item until we get to the end, and then all bets are off for the championship round. But it at least gives you a time frame that we can build from. Bill, I don't know how much you know about the games we play on the podcast. However, with the games, we have one specific rule.
There is a rule?
There is a rule. If you win the game, I will say to you, say something to your fans. At that point, you must say hello and congratulations. If when I say something to your fans, you say anything other than hello and congratulations.
And congratulations.
I am the winner of the game. You got that? I say something to your fans. You say hello and congratulations. It makes no sense. It will never make any sense. However, it is the one and only rule. Are we ready for this, ladies and gentlemen?
Thought that was the rule.
Let's get started. All right. So Dairy Queen was first opened in 1940 in Juliet, Illinois. Okay. The question is, what year was soft serve introduced? And Bill, we're going to start with you. You can say the same answer as someone else. Do we say that before, or do you have to go above or below?
You can't do the same.
Can't do the same answer. Okay. All right. Establishing another rule.
There's another rule.
So you get to start off. The first store opened in 1940. What year did they introduce soft serve?
Soft serve ice cream would be 1947.
1947, he says. Over to Scott.
55.
He says 55. Over to Gabe.
1946.
1946. The correct answer is 1940.
That's what
Okay.
That's what I thought the answer was, but I just went with 46 because
Split the
Because,
difference.
You just
I'm
go
closest.
You go one. You go one down, one under. It is Price is Right rules.
Another rule.
Another rule.
The actual concept of Dairy Queen was when it isn't Price is Right rules. It's quite literally quite the opposite of Price is Right rules. It's literally the opposite.
I bet one.
The whole idea of Dairy Queen started when father and son came up with the idea of soft serve, and then partnered with a guy that had an actual ice cream shop, and then built Dairy Queen. So Dairy Queen, the entire philosophy of Dairy Queen was the soft serve. So, all right, that puts the establishing date at 1940. Question number 2. Scott, you'll go first on this one. I should probably write this down as well.
Well, see you later.
It's okay. I'll remember.
Yeah.
I'm up 3-0.
I don't trust you idiots. All right, the second question is Malts and Shakes. In what year did Malts and Shakes get introduced?
1948.
He says 1948. Over to Gabe.
1943.
1943 for Gabe, and over to Bill.
Since the soft serve was developed in 40, they had more than one product. I'm going to say 41.
He says 1941. The correct answer is 1949.
All right.
Over to Scott for the point.
I'm up 4-0.
Yeah.
All right, 1 point to Scott, 1 point to Gabe. Question number 3. The banana split appeared on the menu at what year, Gabe?
1956. 1956,
he says.
That's a good guess.
That is a good
That's
guess.
a really good guess.
That's a good guess.
The banana went through a lot in the early days. In the 50s, the bananas tasted different too. You know why? The bananas that they started out with are not the bananas they ended up with.
Actually,
That's a whole nother thing.
That's a very cool little tidbit you've thrown in there, because that is actually true. The bananas we eat today are not the bananas that our grandparents grew up
Not
with.
at all. So the banana flavor that they had was more true to the old banana.
What's the goddamn year?
52?
1952. I
Yeah.
don't remember what anybody else said at this point. It's been since 1952 since I said the question.
What did you say, Gabe? 53? 56.
He said 56. I said 52.
56. I'm going to have to go with 57.
He's going with 57. The correct answer after all that is 1951. Bill getting himself a point.
you.
I do like that, though, because it is interesting to know that bananas have actually changed.
Oh, way big.
Partially because to make them easier to ship, and then also because of disease.
A fungus. There was a fungus that killed off all of the old bananas.
Yep.
The stuff that, if you think the banana flavoring in like a popsicle or something like that is totally different than any other banana, well, it's because it's based on the old banana that doesn't exist anymore. It is
That
gone
is
extinct.
bananas.
Yeah. Bananas.
Wow, that was awesome. I don't know what happened. What came out of my throat there as well. Woo!
Did you just snort? That was awesome.
Oh man. Okay, so that's actually quite interesting.
Thank you.
1 point around. The next question, Bill, you will go first on this one as well. This is a staple of the Dairy Queen menu. This is the Dilly Bar.
I love the Dilly Bar.
Dilly Bar. What year was
Love
the
it.
Dilly Bar introduced?
Dilly Bar. Boy, that's a. Let's see. It comes in butterscotch. It comes in strawberry. It comes in chocolate.
I think it's cherry.
Cherry.
Cherry,
Is
yep.
it cherry?
Cherry,
Oh,
yep.
what did I say?
Which is
Strawberry.
Oh yeah, it's cherry.
it is
You're
cherry, and surprising that it's actually pretty good. My kid had one the other day, and I was like, "Wow,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought I would like that. It's pretty good."
I feel like the Dilly Bar is a 60s thing.
Okay, he says
I'm going to go
19
1960.
1960 even. Over to Scott.
69.
Ooh, whoa, coming at ya.
I thank you.
I'm going to say 1959.
He says 1959. The correct answer is 1954.
Oh wow!
Yeah, a lot of this stuff
They
starting
were
off
just churning out product
They were
in
just
the early years.
left and
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So this was one of those great examples, and this happened. When we did the McDonald's episode, we talked about the Big Mac. It basically happens with all these franchises where somebody in the store comes up with an idea of something that they want to do, and this was actually in Moorhead, Minnesota. They came up with the concept for the Dilly Bar, and it was one of those things where like a traveling salesman came through, I believe it was, and showed him, hey, you can dip this. And supposedly the guy said, "Oh, that's a dilly."
Hey.
Dilly.
And now, which they didn't trademark as well. So now you got other
Dilly.
people using the Dilly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 1954. Are you a fan of the Dilly Bar?
Very much. Now, you said it was invented in Moorhead.
In Moorhead, I believe, yes.
Very interesting.
Now, Bill, I'm just going to tell you, I say that, it came out of my mouth, does not mean
But
it's true.
I'm glad you did because Moorhead Dairy Queen is special.
It is special. It is one of a kind, and it is one of the only ones like it left. I love that place.
It does not have to adhere to corporate standards.
love
It gets to be a lone wolf.
I love it.
Yeah, they are their own Dairy Queen island unto themselves.
Yeah, until they find something good, and then the rest of them.
Yeah, I'll
Jump
get the
in.
dilly dilly.
Yeah.
All right, so we are on year 1954. Gabe is up. We got a handful of questions left. The next one is the Dairy Queen Braiser concept, which introduced
Braiser?
hot food.
I'm only familiar with Brazzers.
Speaking of nuts,
The Dairy Queen Brasiers are the ones that
there we go.
they have the flop downs.
Oh no.
That's a dilly.
They call those chicken cutlets. Anyways, now I don't even want me to be able to say it correctly.
Dairy Queen Brazzers.
Brazzers chili dog.
The Brazzers. Jeez. When was hot food introduced?
69.
Again, the wrong website. Should we bring it up right now, though, by the way? We did purchase the domain nutserface.com. So for all of you that are looking for it, check it out. Check it out. Check it out, nutserface.com. It's over to Gabe. Scott says 69.
Baseline is 54.
54 is the starting
I'll
point.
go 61.
Okay, 61. Over to Bill.
So we're somewhere between
Somewhere between the two or not. I don't know.
66. Let's go 66.
66. The correct answer is 1957.
Good Lord.
Just getting everything done right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Wow, right.
Yeah, so we're only 17 years into their existence. And
They've got everything but the blizzard.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know it. The Grill and Chill, which we know, obviously.
Yeah.
Was introduced in 2001. And I was trying to figure out what the difference was.
Yeah.
There was one thing that said it was that they introduced seating with it, but that isn't really the case. There was seating in other ones as well. It basically was just a rebranding of the concept.
That was when they took over the Orange Julius is when they started rebranding, wasn't it?
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. So yeah, the 2001 is when the Grill and Chill happened. I think it was just a changing of some of the products in it as well. So if you see the sign though, the Brazzers,
Brasiers.
the Brasiers, 1957. Okay, next question, and Gabe first on this one, I believe.
Yes.
Gabe, the question is the Peanut Buster Parfait. What year was that introduced?
62.
62. I know where Scott's going.
What was the last one?
The last one was 1957. We're
59.
Hold on, you're not up yet. It's Bill.
Oh, sorry.
59.
Bill says 59. Scott.
63.
63. The correct answer is 1971.
God, you should have gone with
Whoa.
69.
There's a huge gap there.
Would have been a point.
That's a huge gap.
Gabe, is that you?
No, I was
No,
in
that's
the middle
me.
there.
Oh, Scott
still
with
won,
the win.
but-
I still won. I should have won more.
Yeah. Should have won with 69.
you should have actually.
Would have felt better.
Always does.
Now I can't use 69 again.
I mean, you can. Well, technically, but no, you can't.
You'd be wrong.
I blew my chance.
Did he come or what?
1971, it was created again in Minnesota. This here says St. Peter, Minnesota, which I don't even know if that's really a thing. It says it on here somewhere. Anyway,
Down by Mankato.
so it was invented in St. Peter, Minnesota, and I found this interesting. The Buster Bar was invented in 1968. So they had the Buster Bar, and then someone's like, we got to make that into a Parfait. And then the Parfait came 3 years later. So interesting.
We just completely skipped over bars.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Buster
just
Bar.
drop it in a cup, call it good.
That's what it is. I would have thought it would have went the other way around.
Yeah.
Like you start with the parfait and then go to the bar. You don't go from the bar to the parfait.
Generally not, no.
Yeah, it seems like
Seems like you went the wrong way around.
you would think it would have just been someone like just stuck a stick into their parfait, called it a day.
Yeah.
So,
Here you
all
go.
right. Scott is in the lead, 3-2-1. We got two more questions here, I believe, and then we have the semifinal round, and then we'll see who goes on to the championship. This is the world-renowned Blizzard. What year was the Blizzard introduced? And we are at Bill Satre.
All right. The Blizzard at the Dairy Queen introduced in 1982.
1982, he says.
I was initially going to go with 84.
Okay.
So I think I'll just stick with that, 84.
6 with 84. Over to Gabe.
I was going to go with the spirit of 76, but I'm switching it up to 81.
He says 81. The correct answer is 1985. Yeah. 85. The Blizzard was introduced, and in the first year, they sold 175 million Blizzards in the first year alone.
That means nothing to me.
How does that mean nothing to you? That's so many Blizzards.
How many Dairy Queens were there?
Right out of the gate, though.
Well,
That's-
so fun fact, if you had to guess which state has the most Blizzards in it, what would you think?
Texas.
Okay.
Blizzards.
Dairy Queen
Sorry,
Blizzards.
not Blizzards, Dairy Queens.
Okay.
Anyways, Bill, it is Texas.
Okay.
Although highest per capita, Minnesota. So we got something.
Surprised you
going
didn't
for
know
us.
that.
Surprised you didn't know that.
Yeah.
Minnesota big in the Dairy Queen game. Not originally started in Minnesota. We said this, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. However, the
Headquarters.
the headquarters is located in Minnesota.
It
so,
is.
yeah. All right, we have a point there. Scott again. So Scott's just renounding lead here. We've
I
got
believe you mean resounding.
resounding. Did I say renounding?
I am world renowned.
Renowned, resounding?
Rebounding, renounding. Here's another fun fact.
I'd like
for
a
you.
recounting.
Yes.
Here's a fun fact for you that follows in suit here. In 1986, the band No Doubt was formed when two employees of Dairy Queen met each other. It was Gwen Stefani's brother, Eric Stefani, and a gentleman named Greg Spence met while working at Dairy Queen, and that's how they formed the band No Doubt.
And it took them 10 years to write a song.
Have you heard their songs? Don't speak? Come on. This also said that Gwen worked at Dairy Queen as well. I don't know if that's true or not. So,
I think it is.
all right, here we go. Last question before the semifinals. This basically does not matter, but we're going to throw it out there anyways. Maybe we should save it just to be safe in case something happens. We never know.
This happens every single time.
because-
literally every single time. Oh, I got a good one here. Nah, maybe we'll save it.
The only reason I want to save it is because I always think that the ceiling will fall on top of me and nothing will be able to continue. Anyways, question is, and this is for Scott, the Blizzard was in 1985. The Braiser, which was the frozen yogurt version of the Blizzard,
gross.
was introduced in what year?
87.
It says 87. That's not a bad guess, considering.
Considering what? Is
What,
it
considering the
1987?
answer that you know?
Not a bad guess.
Considering the 80s, I just in my head that says.
Considering the fact that nobody knows it existed?
I'm going to say 1993.
He says 1993, and over to Bill.
I was going to go 92, but yeah, I'll stick with that.
He's going to stick with 92. The answer is 1990.
Oh, so
That's a tie right
No.
there. Oh,
he said 92. I
said
said 87.
92.
He did, yep.
He's 2, I'm 3.
all right.
Same
So
decade.
There's math involved.
there's math involved. All right. So what that means
I
now
have
is
to count to 3 sometimes.
that means that Gabe is tied with Bill
In last place.
in last,
In last
place.
place.
Scott is now into the championship. This is to see who will go on to the championship. Bill, since you are our guest,
All right.
we will give you the option to either pick or let Gabe pick and say if it's higher or lower. We'll let you do
I'm gonna let
whichever
Gabe
one you
pick.
want. Okay,
I'm gonna
Gabe
let-
is going to pick,
Gabe, you get to pick.
All right.
and then you get to say higher or lower. So again, we are at the year 1990. The question is the chicken strip basket. Staple. Comes with the gravy.
Love it.
What year did that debut?
1994.
He says 1994. Over to Bill. Higher or lower? 1994.
Higher.
He says higher. The correct answer is 1995. Gabe Johnson, I'm sorry you are no longer with us. Taken out on the chicken strip basket. That was surprising to me. I don't remember the introduction of the chicken strip basket. I just remember it always existing.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You guys fans of the chicken strip
I
basket?
love it. What other meal can you get at a fast food restaurant that comes with gravy?
That has gravy.
Country
I mean,
gravy.
come on. Oh, it's amazing. I came by for the gravy. That's it.
That's it. Just here for the gravy.
Here for the gravy.
I did the thing where I once got sick after eating it, not because of it, but because I just happened to be sick. So, if you can imagine, chicken strips with gravy, not the greatest on the way back up. So I'm not a fan. Not a fan of the chicken strip basket.
Yeah. They also have good honey mustard there, too, for what it's worth.
They actually have really good honey mustard. Yeah. Actually, one of the items they have that I think currently still, they have these little rotisserie chicken bites.
Those are good.
$170 for like 4 of them. But
So-
where can you just go get a little cup of rotisserie chicken bites?
Here's the thing.
Yes.
You go and you get as many of those honey mustards from
I'm hearing
Dairy
you.
Queen.
I'm hearing you.
And on your way down to the cities, go through McGregor, hit the Quick Trip. Don't get the honey mustard at the Quick Trip. It sucks.
Well, it's gas station honey mustard.
It's
Quick
Heinz
Trip
honey
is a
mustard.
special.
Yeah, it is.
But
It is.
Quick Trip, their chicken is amazing.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
So you're comboing local honey mustard,
Yep.
Sourced.
Locally sourced honey mustard with that
McGregor
McGregor.
Quick Trip chicken.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are anywhere near central Minnesota, you now know what to do. All right, we are on the last and final round here. Bill, we're going to give you the same option.
Okay.
You can allow Scott to go first and try to nail it dead on balls, and then you decide higher or lower, or you can try and throw it a year and let him decide higher or lower.
I'm doing pretty good on the higher or lower game. I think
Okay.
I'll let him do it.
Okay, so in 1988, the Dairy Queen purchased Orange Julius.
Oh, wow.
It was actually a company that was formed by a gentleman named Julius Freed. The question is, in what year was Orange Julius founded?
1933.
He says 1933. Bill, this is your opportunity.
It's gonna be
Higher
higher than
or
that.
lower?
Higher.
He says higher.
I should have said 1940.
The correct answer is 1926.
No way.
In 1926, the Orange Julius was invented by a gentleman that owned an orange grove, I believe.
It predates the DQ that bought it.
But yeah, by over a decade.
Dang.
Almost a decade and a
It's
half.
just one orange, Dave. How much could it cost?
Wait. Hey, you guys never sit in the Dairy Queen and read the giant wall of text that explains the origin?
No. Have you guys ever seen, so obviously Super Size Me, you've seen that,
Yeah,
correct?
yep.
The second Super Size Me, he has, I think it's called Super Size Me 2, or it's about chicken, okay?
I missed this.
It's,
Industrial chicken farming.
yeah. So it's basically an investigative journalism about chicken farming, which has some fascinating stuff and pretty disturbing, actually. The birds that can't stand up because they're too fat to actually, hold their own weight, that's a little messed up. But
Yeah, but they're delicious.
yeah, and plump.
How else are you going to get a 3-pound chicken breast, Dave?
I've gotten chicken breasts from Walmart in the frozen bag. Those are just like tiny little puny chickens. I want the
Compared to-
chicken breast that is
Right.
the size of 2 heads. That's what I want. Anyways, fun fact about that, about Super Size Me 2, he goes and starts his own restaurant, and inside he's trying to do all the cliched things. So he just has a wall of text that just says, this text is really big. It says nothing, but it's just really big text. That's awesome. So I highly recommend it if you're a fan of marketing, I highly recommend it just for what he does with the actual restaurant and the things you can get away with doing and call it like his grilled chicken is not grilled by any means, but yet he can call it grilled because
Can paint stripes on it. It looks grilled. It's grilled.
literally painting stripes on it.
No way.
Yes, and then you get to, but it's a fried piece of chicken that they paint grill marks on and call it grilled chicken.
Grill marks, bud.
It's awesome. Anyways, Scott, you are the winner of the game. Go ahead and say something to your fans.
Hello, and congratulations.
Hello and congratulations has been had. You haven't had a win in a while, I don't think, have you?
First one, I think.
Yeah,
It's been a minute. It's been a while. Excuse me.
been a while. So what do you guys think about? What do you think about Dairy Queen? What's your take on Dairy Queen? Bill, go.
I really like the new one in Northeast when they open that one up. And again, this is very local stuff, but I was sad because we lost the one in Westgate at the same time. It was like kind of nice to have that too, but
Except for
You
you
have
don't
a
have
reason to go to the mall.
it was the one reason I had to go in there at lunchtime. But yeah, I'll take the old former bank location in Northeast. And I'm just really glad that they didn't get rid of the one by the river because, that's the classic.
Yeah, so in our town, we currently have 2 Dairy Queens. We used to have 2 Dairy Queens. One was in the mall, and they moved to, and actually it was an old KFC. I don't know.
It was
before
a bank
that, it was a bank
before
before that. Yeah.
Before that.
It's a beautiful looking building. But the other one is the classic little walk-up style, which actually there's a gap between the freezer and the actual front compartment. I don't know if you've noticed that at all, but when you're driving through there, the freezer is not connected to the
building.
To the building.
It's just a little shack with a window.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's awesome.
Those are so cool, those old ones.
What's your go-to item at Dairy Queen?
Obviously the chicken. Obviously.
Just the toast. I like to get the toast, and the gravy.
But the chicken and the gravy, and then I'll get some honey mustard on the side for the next trip down to the cities.
Unbelievable.
And then
McGregor's not in the cities.
I know it's on the way though. From where I live, it's on the way.
Okay.
And so we always stop for anyway. And the other go-to would be they used to have this midnight truffle blizzard.
Okay.
Ooh. Really good. Ooh. It's gone. They don't do that one anymore. But I'd love to have them bring it back. That would be a go-to. But cookie dough blizzard.
Cookie dough blizzard's a good one. That's a good one. What's the difference between a midnight truffle and a regular truffle?
Time of day.
It was the that purple raspberry juice that they put in it that was, give you diabetes.
That's high praise.
Scott, what's your go-to item at Dairy Queen?
Is there an item that's a more extravagant version of the peanut butter parfait?
I don't know, maybe, probably, but not.
Because I think there is, and I think that's the one that I like.
Is that how you order it? I want the fancy parfait.
Fancy parfait. Really, I pull up and I see the peanut butter parfait, but then there's always like the extra. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, I want that one.
That is a classic Dairy Queen move where it's just like, well, hold on. We've got a float. But what if we put a scoop of ice cream in it?
Oh, yeah.
A misty float. All right. I don't know if I know that. What additionally is on it?
I'd never. It's been 10 years since I did it.
There's one with brownies in it.
Oh.
Brownie.
Brownie
something.
buster.
Yeah.
I will say this. The brownies that they're popping in their ice cream.
Yeah.
It's like you talk about like the cookie dough, right? Like whoever came up with the idea of the cookie dough that is just in things, great job. Fantastic job. Yeah. But their little brownies,
they're frozen and they're still just chewy and soft.
Yeah, unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Gabe, go to
New York Cheesecake Blizzard.
Oh, that's a good one too. Does that have strawberries or anything in it? Yep, that's what.
Strawberry in the chunks of cheesecake,
and the little bit of graham cracker crust.
A little bit of graham
cracker.
cracker.
Is that the one they call the Royal?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the fancy Blizzard.
It's
Extra 30 cents.
Yeah.
Oh.
They hollow out the center and they put all the strawberry.
Oh,
goodness
yeah.
down
Down
there.
the middle.
And
No.
then, yeah. Oh yeah.
No.
It's fancy as.
No.
Fancy
No,
like.
I cancel that. I don't like the
Dairy Queen on a date night.
it's like the yogurt that puts the fruit on the bottom. Get out of here. Get out of here. Just scoop it, move it in, get it incorporate it into every bite. Mine is very simple. I am a crunch cone guy. And crunch cones are not everywhere. You have to ask if they have the crunch. The crunch, I don't know why. Our dad used to get it, and it just, to me, that is Dairy Queen. I will say this though, on a hot day, you run the risk with the crunch cone that it will all fall off in one swoop. I've had that happen where you're just holding it and it just comes down cascading, and now you're just holding like a ice cream dagger with just a handful of crunch.
Oh, well.
And then you got to make the decision. Am I licking this off my hand? What am I doing here? Am I just accepting that the crunch is gone? I don't think
Accept
I am.
it. Move on.
Yeah. Because you can't do the thing where you put it in the cup either.
But what flavor?
Well, the crunch, I like just straight vanilla ice cream
Okay.
with the crunch on there. That's my go-to at Dairy Queen.
What's the crunch?
Is
Like a
it's
crunch
the
bar?
chocolate
Oh my
dip.
God,
It's
no.
the chocolate dip?
No. This is, you've never had the crunch cone? The crunch cone is, it's like a mixture of
Peanut,
yeah,
crushed peanuts and
candy.
chocolate.
It's
Yeah.
like little candy bits and
so
peanuts.
it's got the jimmies in there, the sprinkles, which give or
God, I
take.
forgot about
But it's almost like they took peanuts and like candied them, so it's got kind of a coating to it. It's its own thing. This is not something where you're just like, I'm going to go home and make that. It is its own little thing, and they just roll your cone in it, and it is.
Is it like the top of a drumstick?
No, maybe a little bit because it does have peanut to it, but
I feel like I have to go have one now.
Yeah, I don't think it's just straight peanuts. I think it is like they've made. It's almost like they've deep fried the peanut in sugar as well. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an
And
interesting.
then there's little candy bits in there too.
there is the sprinkles are in there. Yeah. It's
It's like 85 degrees outside, Dave. Why did you not bring samples?
well, just to let everyone know, in Minnesota, we just get to suffer through whatever the weather is. And for us currently, it's 85 degrees. Tonight it will be 54 degrees.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow, God knows what it could be 175, it could be 32.
You never know.
You never know. It could be snowing tomorrow. It snowed the most snow we've ever had this year. And it snowed right till the end of April.
Yeah.
Didn't we get some?
Maybe the first week of May?
May have been the first week of May. So here we are. And that's why yesterday it was 80 degrees. I was like, man, we should probably just get this AC going.
We
And
just skipped spring.
we did skip
Just
spring.
skipped it.
We skipped
went
it
winter to
straight into
sweat.
it. But this is also when you start to see the ice cream shops opening. So these little ice cream stands, the one in our local town, the Triangle, which is not a Dairy Queen, but it's basically a locally owned Dairy Queen. That opens this weekend. So it's just a good time to talk about it.
Still the classic style building though that you expect with like
Yes.
it's like
Yeah, with the walk-up counter.
Yeah. I there's something about that to me. The
It's
idea,
iconic.
it's iconic, and the idea that fast food restaurants used to be that as well. Can you imagine walking up to a Burger King
Right.
or walking up to a McDonald's and ordering from a counter? It just seems, I don't know, there's something quaint about that just seems pretty sweet.
it does.
It does, yeah.
It's like walking up to Sandy's Burgers.
In St. Cloud? No. Sandy's Burgers.
We had
yeah,
one.
Yeah, right here locally.
We did.
What
is it now?
Mickey's.
Yeah.
Yeah, the local. It's now a little sandwich shop, but at the time it was Sandy's, which was bought by Hardee's, which
The classic building though is still there.
Plaid.
It's,
Nice,
it's
like
one
Art
of the
Deco.
Yeah.
kinda-
It's one of the few left in the country too.
if you look at the back of that building,
Special.
if you look at the back of the building, there's tile on it, and the tile is in plaid. So because Sandy's was a plaid themed restaurant, it was Scottish. Which makes absolutely no sense. Scottish themed burger just doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. Especially if you know anything about Scottish food.
Haggis. We got the haggis burger. So, Bill, I'm going to give you an opportunity. Just talk to us a little bit
About?
while we wrap this episode up. I don't know.
man.
I was nervous about having you come on because
He's a professional.
you're a professional and we are not.
Too much credit.
But talk to me about what you got coming up this summer and the radio station.
Huge
and whatnot.
summer. We do have a huge summer. Lakes Jam is going to be a big part of our summer. We've got concerts galore on my station, B93.3. We're going to be at literally every big festival.
Awesome.
We're to a point right now where I don't I think we've hit saturation on festivals and concerts. There's one every weekend from the beginning of June all the way through We Fest in August. There's one going on somewhere. We're going to be at Windstock. We're going to be at Lakes Jam. We're going to be at Iconic Fest. We're going to be...
Wow.
There's another one going on somewhere. In,
Well, there was just a smaller one this last weekend.
There were two. Actually.
Oh, yeah, there were two. There were actually two. Yeah.
It's
one
like
at the
already.
fairgrounds as well. Yeah.
One at the fairgrounds and then one at the Green Lantern. So, yeah, we've got lots of music going on. And I love live music. That's one of my favorite things. So, every time there's a chance to go see live music, I'm all about that.
We've talked about this. Not for me. I don't know why. Not for me.
Really?
There's two levels of it. There's too loud and and then there's Fogerty. We've talked about this. I have coined the term Fogerty.
Fogerty, yeah.
Fogerty is when you go and there's live music and it's nothing but 60-plus-year-old people that have dragged their lawn chairs out. It is always a man and his wife. It can be no other combination. It is a man and his wife. They have dragged their lawn chairs out, and they are going to set up their lawn chairs, and they are going to stare at the stage and listen to music that is played at an appropriate level for exactly 2 hours, and then they all fold up their chairs and they go home.
Yeah.
Fogerty.
And if it goes over 2 hours, they're out.
No, they have no...
They're out.
They've got
There's no encore at a Fogerty.
No, they show up 15 minutes early. They are prepared. If the music does not start precisely at the time it is scheduled,
they get irritated.
Oh, you can
murmuring.
Murmuring. There's tufts of hair flapping around. Fogerty. We've said this, that there is a place for Fogerty and there's a place for not Fogerty, and you got to figure out what your festival is. Are you Fogerty or are you not?
I guess not. No, I kind of like to get up and enjoy it myself. So I don't know, but I'm avoiding weddings this summer. And we'll go with that.
All right, Scott, you're a live music guy. Obviously,
I am.
Prefer the concerts. What's the last concert you were at though?
It's been a while. Probably my wedding.
Oh yeah, but you played at your. That doesn't. You can't. No. If you play yourself, that's not. That's like saying.
Well, yeah, I had to get up there and get the show moving a little bit.
Nice.
Before that, I don't know. It's been a really long time since I went and saw a concert.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Other than like festivals, you go in, but that doesn't. I don't know if that really counts. That's not going to a concert. That's going to a festival.
Right.
Yeah.
I did. So last summer, was it Hinder?
Yeah,
played at the Armory.
Yeah.
I didn't attend.
You
attended multiple times,
but I brought food there.
Yes,
and
so it was like attending because you kept going.
I got to witness some live music.
You were the official pizza sponsor of the Hinder concert.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
so that was neat.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me. Actually, no, the last one I went to was actually the Jonas Brothers with my daughter and her 14-year-old friends.
Yeah.
I got to be the chauffeur for that. I will say this. I am a fan of performers.
There you go.
I like people that are good at their craft.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sold on, this is not my music, but the act itself and the pageantry of it and the timing and the executed bits, was a pretty big fan of it. And BB Rexa opened, and I don't know if you know this or not, but I sent a text to my fiance and said, "I'm sorry, we're breaking up. If she's even remotely anywhere in the vicinity, see you later. We're gone." Gabe, you're a huge fan of it.
I like concerts. I think it was last winter, Keith Urban. Excel. My brother-in-law gave us tickets that we went. I'm not a huge country music guy, but he was opened by the Georgia half of the Florida-Georgia line, so I knew most of those songs.
So you saw the Georgia line?
Well, he just goes by his name now. He's on his solo career.
Tyler Hubbard.
What?
Tyler Hubbard.
Tyler Hubbard. Yeah. So Tyler Hubbard opened, and I knew most of his songs, and then Keith Urban, and I knew most of his songs just because he's incredibly famous.
Yeah.
I got Pearl Jam tickets for this summer.
Oh, nice. Yep. Nice. Where's that at? Is that at the Excel as well? Or
I don't know.
Diverse tastes, though. That's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you do a lot of concerts.
Yeah. My wife loves the clap, stomp, hey guys.
Okay.
So we've seen most of those.
Okay.
Claps Tom Hay.
There's
guys.
Fogerty and there's Claps
Stop Hay.
The Blue Man Group.
No, like the Mumford and Sons and Abbott Brothers,
Okay.
Yeah.
that whole genre.
Mumford and Sons, I heard it no more. I heard that I heard that they're.
Yeah, you
either
can only
on
write
hiatus.
the same song so many times before
Yeah.
nobody wants to hear it anymore.
Yeah. It was great when I got divorced because it was just sad. It's like, thanks for existing, guys.
That's great. Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. I like going to the Excel Energy Center. That's where the hockey is played here.
I saw the Chili Peppers there
Okay.
years ago.
Good,
That was
good venue for
a
it.
great show.
It's the right size. Bill, to end the podcast,
He's got words.
He's got something.
He's
Got
got
something about
words.
the Chili Peppers.
Chili
does.
Peppers. I remember seeing the Red Hot Chili Peppers
when they
my
were
first
just
time
the
live.
mild chili peppers.
They were mild. It was the first Lollapalooza going back to 92.
Wow. You hold on. You were
93?
at the first Lollapalooza?
Yeah, the one at Harriet Island.
What?
Yeah. I worked at a station down in the cities that was one of the sponsors of Lollapalooza, and it was KJ 104. And we had a VIP tent off to the side that I was running gate for at the time because I was on the staff. So we were at the first Lollapalooza and the second one as well. So Ministry, 9 Inch Nails.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty nice.
Lollapalooza was a large golf,
festival.
And the artists were quite a bit different because wasn't Jane's Addiction there as
Perry
well?
Farrell and
Yeah.
Jane's Addiction was
Yeah.
at both of them. Actually, he started the whole Lollapalooza thing started with him, and they toured around at all these major cities. Now it's just in Chicago is all
Yeah.
they do it now. But back of the day, it was it was fantastic. But got to see Red Hot Chili Peppers there. So
I would say percentage of Fogerty at Lollapalooza
0.
Nope, I was going to say 13.3%. Somewhere in that mix, there's
a lawn chair.
There's a lawn chair and a little wafting
back there.
pointing at the watch. We said it was going to start at 12:30.
But yeah, I mean, so I go from Lollapalooza to Lakes Jam and the country stuff. So it's like talk about diversity. Last year we got to see Garbage.
Ooh,
So I'm all over the place. So.
Well, I think this is a good place to stop. But before we leave, I just want to say that there's one other gig that you had when I was growing up that we should share with individuals as well. Here in the wonderful city of Brainerd, Minnesota, we had an amusement park.
We did.
And it was themed after the mythical being that is Paul Bunyan. And we were renowned for having, and still have, it has moved locations, but
Still ours.
Paul Bunyan Land still exists.
Yep.
And there is still a 40-foot tall animatronic Paul Bunyan. And the thing that he is known for is that he will say hello and by name greet all the children.
Knows every kid in the world.
He knows them all.
Every
He knows
single,
them
and
all.
mainly it's just that he's so tall. He can
Yeah.
see everywhere. However, not to pull the curtain back on the Great Wizard of Oz,
Back
but
in the winter of 1853.
Oh, nice. That's
It
good.
was the winter of the blue snow.
Bill
That's when I found Babe, my blue eyes.
Isn't that great? Bill was
was
the
my
voice
gig.
of Paul Bunyan. How old were you when you did that?
I was 17, 18, 19. I didn't do the job the year that I turned 20, but it was like 3 or 4 years. In
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the same time was also dating our aunt.
Did you know that?
I had no idea.
Didn't remember. Shocked. So I remember when I got to take the mayor on his first ride on the Enterprise at Valley Fair.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah. Scared the shit out of me. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get out of here. Bill, thank you for coming on.
It's been a pleasure.
It's
Thank you
been
for having me. here.
Absolute
Thank
pleasure.
you, guys.
Sorry we couldn't talk more about testicles. There's always
Maybe next time.
There's always next time. But yeah, I like that game, Chrono Trippin. We'll pull that out every couple of months. It's just good to look back at some of those items. I tried to find when the Crunch Cone came about. Could not find it. Was very disappointed. So the whole reason I asked you what your guys' go-to item is just so I could talk about the Crunch Cone. So All right. Thank you, Bill. Thank you to the Boutros.
Yes.
All right. And thank you to Gabe as well.
Thank you, Dave.
We will be back next week with the Be Kind Rewind 1992 edition. That is the form of the episode where we talk about a specific year and everything that happened within it. So if you've got suggestions, now's your last chance to get those over to us for 92. And until then, we're done. Yeah, I was nervous. I didn't want to say anything that was going to get you in trouble. I know the last time Hanky was on, I could tell he was a little bit nervous when we started doing name of the year. He was like, "Oh, we're doing this, huh? Okay. This guy's name is Balls, huh? Okay."
Harry, I know him well.
You, your girl, and your Johnson.